I'm not scared of flying. At least I wasn't scared of flying. And now I am. It was the scariest plane ride in my life.
Ever. It was
I've
so
been on
bad.
a little plane.
Hi guys, welcome back. Today I have Mr. Spoonmore. We are going to be doing a little sit down talk about some crazy stuff that happened on our way back from Waco. If Emerson will let us talk, that would be great, but we'll make it work because he's up and we have to do this. Do you want gin Ben or something? Like, what do you want, kid? What do you want? What do you want? You don't know? You want fruit? Yeah? Okay. So maybe that might work for a little bit. But anyway, so if you have not yet seen our video on the Waco trip, go ahead and watch that because that video is already up. But this video is just going to be like a sit down talk about the craziness that Sunday on our way home was, because it was just straight up one of the scariest, upsetting, anxiety inducing days of my life, I'll literally say, because it was just frustrating. So do you want to start or you want me to start?
I can start.
Yeah.
So Sunday we were at a place called Buzzard Billy's. We showed up early. There's like a walk along the river, that just a paved area along the river with bridges and stuff. So we were walking around that, waiting for our reservation. While doing that, we got a text saying that our American Airlines flight had been canceled. We'll update you shortly. So we decided let's walk in and get started, see if they can get us seated before our 2:30 reservation. That way, if we need to get back to the airport to start to find out our trip home. I think the reason we thought that is because you called them and they said, well, we can't help you. The first flight out is Tuesday, but if you go there and talk to them at the airport, there's a better chance at getting out of town.
Yes.
So we thought, all right, we better go eat and get back to the airport so that we can get a flight out in hopefully the near future. And on the way there, we think, well, maybe we'll just, if there's no flight, we'll just rent a car. Let's just call and see if we can just take this car home, which is about a 9-hour drive, not terrible. So we have that kind of planned just to go ahead and drive. We called to see if we can take our current car. We can't do that because the company we rented it from is not located in our hometown of Kansas City, so no, we couldn't do that. But so we planned to go swap cars with a company that we could bring one here with. In the midst of that, we get a phone call from an officer of the law. And pretty scary because face on the phone, even though it's my car, for some reason they call her phone number.
Yes.
And all I can catch out of the deal from my seat is your car has been in an accident.
Yes.
And we don't know what in the heck is going on. We don't know who's in the car. Is it her dad driving her car? Is it somebody driving my car? Turns out, I guess the scariest part was right there. In the midst of not knowing what is going on, if somebody is hurt, if you get a call from an officer of the law and your car was in an accident, you assume that it's not good because you would think that your family would call you if it was okay.
Yes.
So the scariness is right there. And I'm sitting there, she's finding out more information. I don't know if she knows the answer. I don't know if she doesn't know the answer. If somebody's hurt, I'm just at the mercy of a third party in the background listening. But
then she also said, like, do you have 2 little boys? And that was when I was like, yes, I have 2 little boys. Like, are my kids okay? Because that was her question. And she didn't really answer the question, like, are my kids okay? And she was like, do you have a lady that would have been driving your car with your boys? And then I'm like, could it be my mother-in-law? Because she was also here too, watching the kids for us. And I was like, no, I couldn't really think. So I was like, I need to call my in-laws to find out if it was my mother-in-law that was driving my car or if it was my sister that was driving my car. And then we got off the phone. Well, I got off the phone with the officer, and I called my in-laws, and my father-in-law tells me, well, your babysitter that you hired to come and take the boys to the playground came, and while she was here, we told her to use Garrett's car to take the kids to the park instead of using her car because Garrett's car had the car seats in it. So it was like, oh crap. So she used Garrett's car, went to the playground. We really don't know like the whole situation behind that.
She hit a car. She hit a Jeep Grand Cherokee, a white Jeep Grand Cherokee. My passenger side headlight has got a hole in it. It's not shattered, but it's broken. The fiberglass fender has a crack in it, so it was not a real soft touch. And she said she has no idea that she hit anybody. And the sad thing is I have to believe her because witnesses recall her getting out of the car, getting both kids out of the car, and going and playing at the park like nothing happened.
Yes.
If anybody knew they did that, they'd at least try to take a peek at it. They would move their car to act like
I would.
They'd move their car to act like, oh, hey, let me move over here so they won't think it was me. But she got out of the car and acted like nothing happened because she probably really didn't know. So that's concerning, and needless to say, well, we won't be having her as a babysitter anymore.
But the funny thing is that she did not realize that she hit a car, but our 5-year-old.
Well, the funny thing is, my parents. So we got the call. We found out what happened. Now we're calmed down. We're still at the stage of planning to rent a car to drive home. We found out that yes, our car was involved in an accident. Everybody's okay. Then the concern for me is, hey, is our insurance going to cover the cost of repair on the other vehicle?
Yeah.
Because we weren't driving it, but with my permission, my insurance man said that yes, because you gave her permission, that they will cover the liability. So that's, thank goodness for that. But all those things were going through our head throughout this. This is just driving from Waco to Dallas to get a flight,
yes,
which was canceled at the time.
1 hour 30 minutes drive, by the way.
So then we get to Dallas. We are in the car. In Dallas, you return your car to a separate location from the airport, and then you shuttle from there to the airport. And we were at the car rental facility, getting ready to get in line to rent a car to come home. Mm-hmm. And we get a text saying, "Hey, your flight is back on. It's now flying out at 9:50. Originally, it was like 7:30 or something.
Yeah.
But now it's back on. It's flying out at 9:50 p.m." So we're like, oh, good, thank goodness.
Yeah.
And Faith and I did not know, but at the time there was a lot of weather coming into Dallas.
Mm-hmm. So that was why the flights had been canceled, was because of the storm that was coming in. But then once we got to the airport,
Another text.
Yes, another text. Flight is now delayed until 10:05.
10:10.
10:10.
Regardless.
And then while we're there, we're still trying to figure out, like, did the babysitter know that she hit a car or not? And then Garrett's parents, my in-laws, decided that they were going to separate the boys to question them to see if there was something that happened that they might have noticed. But long story short, both of the boys said...
My dad, I was on the phone and I asked my dad to ask them, and he's like, all right. And went into interrogation mode. He's like, all right, I don't want to lead them too much. So they separated the boys in different rooms. My mom talking to one boy and my dad talking to the other boy. And it didn't take but 5 minutes. We got a text saying, yeah, both kids said, yeah, they hit a white car. So that was, my boys knew it.
Yeah.
Very clearly.
Yes. But apparently the babysitter did not know it. But the kids knew that definitely something happened in that car, which is kind of scary that she did not pick up on it, but the kids did. So
then our flight. So back to our flight, delayed till 10:10. We get on the plane. Well, first we had to wait because they had to wait for the pilot. Or they had to wait for the crew. The crew shows up, we start boarding. Then there's no pilot.
Yes.
So we have to wait. Luckily, while we were almost on the plane, the pilot come through and walk by us.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're good to go. We get on the plane, we sit there maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Our pilot gets on the intercom saying we're waiting for fuel. we're waiting for fuel. We got to get enough fuel to fly around this storm that her and I didn't know about. So we wait for fuel. It took a good hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah. I was sleeping by that time because I was tired.
We start backing out. We get pushed out at about 11:30. At about 11:30, over the intercom, we are in line for takeoff. And I think the first announcement, we were 9th in line. Regardless, we were in that plane for a long time before we flew out. And then we're taking off. And I'm not scared of flying. At least I wasn't scared of flying. And now I am. It was the scariest plane ride in my life.
Ever.
I've been on a little plane and had some turbulence. And on the small plane, because it was going to some small city to a small city, and it was scary because the plane really, you felt it more than I have ever felt it in a big plane. Well, this was in a big plane.
Yes.
737, Boeing 737, and it was the worst turbulence I've ever seen. There was lightning storm all over, and it's pitch black out, but you could see clearly.
Yes.
Most people had the window shades down, but there was a guy, I was sitting on the aisle seat, and the guy on my window was open, so I could see out, but you know how the plane windows are real small. I had a real narrow view of vision, and there was a lot of lightning, and there was no screaming on the plane, but there was a gal sitting on the aisle up and to my left. I was on the right side of the plane, she was on the left side of the plane, one row in front of me, both aisle seats, and she was panicking.
Yes.
For a good reason. It was the scariest plane ride of my life. I've never felt so glad to get home and touch ground. And then we're home, everything's done, we just got to get home. My wife orders.
For those, like for my African people who are like used to going on roads that are really bad, like imagine going on like a dirt road, like a muddy road that has all the big holes, and the car is literally jumping in and out of holes to the point where you literally is like standing in the car. Because I was leaning back in my seat and holding my butt and my gut so that way I wouldn't lose everything that was in my stomach. It was so rough.
So then we're back in Kansas City.
Yes.
Order an Uber. Faith said they're here. We walk out. Some guy's like, oh hey, yeah, there you are. Faith's phone has a red car with a license plate provided. We get in a blue car. This blue car passes our house exit and just continues. I said, this isn't where we're going. So my wife just wanted to get in the fastest car she could. She knew better, but she wanted to get home faster.
It was the car.
So this poor guy that took us loses his job for a week because Faith got
No. He said he had been suspended for 10 days, and that night was his first night back on the job.
Oh, I thought he said he'll have a week's suspension because he didn't get the right crew.
No, he had just gotten back on the job after being suspended.
So I didn't even know that, I didn't get any of this on my phone. We got in the wrong car. We knew which car to get in. We got in the wrong car.
Yeah.
It takes us, we get in an argument with him. We just want to go home. He wants to take us to wherever the heck this other person was supposed to go for some reason. But we were not interested at all. We had to Venmo him $25.
But like, baby, here's the thing though. I feel like it's so hard. I don't think it's fair for him to just blame us for that because as
We
a
have a picture of a red
driver,
car. We got in a blue car.
Yeah, but you still need to verify. Do I look like a David? He said the person he was picking up was a David.
I might have been David.
You might have been David.
We're done here. So that was the miserable trip. It was a rough Sunday. Saturday was great.
Hey y'all, sorry about that. Emerson was super duper tired, so we just got him down, and I just wanted to come and close out that video because yeah, the ending was a mess. He was just crying and ready to eat, so he's currently sleeping. And long story short, we made it home. We got in the wrong Lyft vehicle, which was my fault because the Lyft said red car, but we got in a blue car because literally like Lyft sent me a little buzzer thing where your car is outside, and that happened, and it was a blue car. So I was just like, oh, maybe it was their error because it was like 2 something in the morning, and yeah, but it was wrong. So make sure you pay attention to the car color because this woman over here did not. And I'm just so grateful that it wasn't something worse because that's how people get killed, hurt, bad things happen when you make those kind of mistakes in the world we live in today. So yeah, but that was the crazy story of the ending of an amazing trip. So, but hope you enjoyed this video. If you have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and do so, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.